G'day YouTube. Warbles on a lot here, and it seems that yesterday's joke has turned into today's tragedy. It'll probably be the first item on the news. We're coming up on 11 o'clock, and my plan is to share the radio news with you, my subscribers, and anybody else who's interested, and then I'll discuss the situation and phenomena after the bulletin.
John Hall with ABC News. Prime Minister Julia Gillard's office has released a statement describing the suspected suicide of a London nurse caught up in the royal prank call by a Sydney radio station as a tragedy. Nurse Jacintha Saldana, who initially took the call from the Today FM presenters pretending to be the Queen and inquiring about the Duchess of Cambridge, was found dead in her home overnight. Miss Gillard says her thoughts are with the family. The CEO of Today FM, Rhys Holleran, will address the media at midday after the station was inundated with demands for the two presenters to be sacked. Host Mel Gregg and Michael Christian have been stood down from their show until further notice. The chairman of Beyond Blue, Jeff Kennett, says he hopes the Australian public supports the two presenters involved in the prank.
When they did this, they had no intention to cause harm. It was a harmless prank, but now they will be under extraordinary pressure. And I just hope that they get our support and that their employer provides them with the professional support to help them get through what will be a terrible few weeks.
A man's dead after a mid-air...
Okay. So, the story is that the King Edward Hospital is famous for being able to maintain privacy. And apparently the nurse who took the phone call from the radio presenters has killed herself out of the shame generated by her failure to guard the privacy of the British royal family. Was it the radio presenters, with their jocular sense of humour, that prompted a fully trained nurse? I mean, I'm a fully trained nurse. Was it the radio presenters who prompted a fully trained nurse to take her life, or was it an exaggerated sense of the importance of the British royal family? Some well-meaning, compassionate, intelligent, educated, professional person has been so sucked in by the British royalist, monarchist, propaganda, public relations machine that she thought it was a capital offence to have been sucked in by radio presenters. I suspect that from the moment the royal pregnant princess entered the hospital, there was some level of anxious speculation among the staff of the hospital of, oh, you know, what could happen? I could answer the phone and it might be the Queen. It's just another family. It's just another pregnancy. It's not worth getting that worked up about. It certainly is not the fault of the radio presenters, whose accents were pure parody. They had no idea they were going to be put through the switchboard, to the point where when they were put onto the ward nurse, who said, oh yeah, you know, like, we've looked after her well and she's nearly ready to go home, or words to the effect, the radio presenters had no idea how to proceed with the call because they hadn't planned on getting that far. It's a bit like when Julian Morrow and the team from The Chaser were actually gained admittance to the APAC conference while dressed as Osama bin Laden. They didn't think they'd get past the front gate, so when they got all the way in, they had no idea what to do with themselves. Well, that's what happened to the radio presenters. They had no idea they were going to get so far. One of them was even barking like a dog in the background to pretend to be the Royal Corgi. Yesterday, on the AM program, I heard a soundbite grab of Prince Charles, you know, the fetus in question's putative grandfather, and he was being interviewed on a telephone link from a different radio station, and he joked. He said, "How do you know I'm not a radio station in Australia?" I mean, the royal family thought it was a funny joke. The only reason that this poor nurse has killed herself, sitting here 12,000 miles away psychoanalysing somebody else's patriotic fantasies, is because she's taken it all seriously. She thought it mattered. She obviously didn't hear that when Princess Diana gave birth to her firstborn, there was a dingo waiting at the hospital gates. Boom, boom. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Suicide. The permanent solution to a temporary problem that probably wasn't an issue. Ciao.